Thank you, Mayor. This area is within the City Council district that I represent. I have a number of concerns. For the record, I support redevelopment and revitalization of our downtown. I believe in smart growth. My comments are directed to members of the governing body, not you per se, because I know you're only doing what you've been told to do.
Okay.
One of the questions I do have, the letter of intent. Mayor Ford, I was told that you signed that. So
No, I didn't say Mayor Ford signed a letter of intent. I said Mayor Ford signed the rezoning application, which he is authorized to do.
So my question is, the letter of intent had not been approved by the council. So I have some concerns regarding this
Councilman
letter of intent. My questions is directed to the mayor.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to let Mr. Anderson answer.
No.
Hold on a second. You directed to me. I'm going to defer, if you don't mind. Mr. Anderson, go ahead and answer the question, please.
Councilman Barber, the staff, one of the staff roles is to bring proposals to the city council. And the city manager, when he was here, he was executive of the city, so he was authorized to bring proposals forward to the city. And if we adopt this tonight, then we can move forward with the letter of intent. So right now, it's just a draft.
I appreciate that, Mr. Anderson. My question is directed to the mayor of the city because the former city manager had already left prior to you adding this item on this agenda, and the mayor, in his capacity of city manager, he would have authorized you to be able to add this item to the agenda. That is why my questions are directly to the person who authorized this. Again, I will ask the mayor, the letter of intent had never been approved by the URA or the city council. So I want to know from you, when and why did you sign this letter of intent without it being presented?
I didn't sign the letter of intent. He just told you I signed the application. The application. I didn't sign the letter of intent. The letter of intent was signed.
Why would you sign the application when it had not been approved by the council?
Because it's coming before the council for this change here. That's why I signed it.
Okay, Mayor.
Hold on. You asked me a question, and I'm perfectly legal in doing that. Okay, it's perfectly legal. I haven't done anything illegal. All right, and I will say that the actual letter that the city manager signed, he signed in good faith as well. And I would have to go further with the URA versus the city council. If there's some, I don't know if there's any legal aspect there. Our attorney is here, and whether or not we can discuss this in open forum. But I didn't do anything wrong. I'm pretty sure that the city manager, in his capacity months ago, didn't do anything wrong either. That's my answer to your question. Okay.
Okay, that's one question, if I may, sir. Then for you or the former city manager, I've been asking since November when the URA was discussing this property, I've been asking for the appraisals of the property. It seems like there are a lot of closed-door meetings and discussions that are being had, but they're not being had with the full council. So what I'm asking, in order for me to consider staff's recommendation of this, I'm asking you, sir, to give me the appraisals that I've been asking for since October of last year.
Well, I will tell you this much. I will tell you
My
this.
questions are directly
I'm going to tell you.
to the governing body.
I would tell you that we
Not
have
you,
not.
Mr. Anderson.
I would tell you that this council has not, legislative body has not done anything illegal or improper with any type of meetings with you already.
Not illegal, but certainly unethical.
Will you let me finish
because
speaking?
it is apparent there's been a whole lot of closed-door meetings that I have not been a part of. There are decisions that are being made behind closed doors without the full council. My questions,
Get control of the meeting.
still
We
remain.
cannot continue to tolerate
I am asking
interruptions. She
for
does
a
not have the
copy
floor.
of the
You did
appraisal.
not authorize her to take the floor.
I want you all to understand what his role is. His role is the deflector. Every time I speak, that's his assignment, is to deflect, to talk over me, so you cannot hear what I'm saying. I have asked consistently, please provide me with the appraisals of these properties that are owned by the city. The city can make whatever decision it wants to make regarding its own property. There are processes and protocols you may follow. You must follow them. I've been challenging this council on the process since October of last year. Give me the appraisals of not only this 15 acres that the city owns, and give me the appraisal of the 3 acres that the city owns right across from City Hall, so that I can make decisions based on what I believe is in the best interest of our city. It seems like you all are having a whole lot of conversations without the full council. That's perfectly okay. But what you're not going to do is get up in this meeting when I ask a question, then deflect. You will share the information. I want it right now. If you want my support, I do not like, Mayor Ford, when you put staff in these kinds of positions, because it is clear Mr. Aaron is only doing what he's been told to do.
His name is Anderson.
He is unaware of all of the requests that I have sent time and time again to you and to the previous city manager. I'm still asking for the same, and to the city attorney. I'm still asking for the same documents I've been asking for since October. If you want me to stop coming to these meetings and causing a disruption in your book, then you will respect me as a member of this council. Provide me with the same information, the same details as every other member of this council. This is my district. You are disrupting the peace of the people who live around here. And if you think I'm not going to ask questions, I am. And I'm not going to stop. Censor me if you wish, but I'm not going to stop asking questions. Unethical, absolutely. Illegal, perhaps not. But you're certainly unethical. Every single one of you sitting up here.
Okay, hold on. Hold a second.
Mayor.
Wait 1 second. I will tell you what, Councilwoman Barber. First of all, if you, we have not had, once again, and don't interrupt you because I didn't interrupt you. We did not have any illegal meetings. There might be some meetings we conducted and maybe you weren't present for, by the way. And hold on a second, I didn't stop you. So the thing of it is that now you'll get appraisals when everybody else gets appraisals. You know, if that's the intent, we'll get them. I don't know why you didn't get them before, but if we need appraisals, everybody will get them simultaneously. On that note. Now, hold on a second. So, you know, some of your allegations are out of line and they're not truthful, but whatever. You know, you want to go on those rants here. But first of all, I'm going to stop right there at this point. Actually, all right, Ms. Gant, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not doing anything unethical. I am listening to Mr. Anderson, and there hasn't been a LOI. There is no contract currently to purchase. These are things that are done in a process to say, okay, this may actually take place or someone has some type of interest. We already knew about the coffee shop. We did discuss the land value, but those are things that we talk about in executive session. So we're skirting a thin line here,
Right,
where we need to understand that real estate, issues of real estate, sale of it, real estate, what we're doing with real estate is certainly pursuant to the Georgia Code of Law, is certainly something that we need to do in executive session. And so there has been discussions. I remember, if I recall right, there were discussions on getting appraisals or whatever we were going to do, but some of these things weren't disclosed and aren't to be talked about because we actually talked about them in executive session. Whether or not council members stayed in executive session to listen or they got upset and walked out, that's on them. But these things were disclosed. These things are disclosed in, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, listen. I'm saying that's on them. Whether or not I'm not lying. Mayor.
Let me say that for the record.
Councilwoman
Hold
Barber,
on, she's
please.
still talking. What are you interrupting?
Stop lying.
Mayor.
She has the floor.
So whether or not people or any council member walks out in executive
Don't
session
lie.
or they are not hearing
I have never
the
walked out of
entire
an executive session regarding a real estate matter. Never.
Can I speak?
Ms. Barber.
Don't lie. No, I'm not going to sit here and let you lie.
Hold on a second.
I don't care how many. I don't
Let her
care.
finish.
You're
Mayor.
not going to lie.
Mayor,
You are not going to lie.
Let
Don't
her
lie.
real estate is to be discussed in
Don't
executive
lie.
session.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
might
That is
want to
true.
discuss it in executive session, but I'm not going to sit here
And I ask that we move
allow you
on to the
lie.
public hearing portion,
But
please.
we will in a second.
Thank you.
Mr. Alexander.
What I want to do is I want to apologize to everybody out there. What you have seen tonight is totally unacceptable. In order to get respect, you got to give respect. You can't talk over everybody. You can't interrupt everybody. You can't
That's
speak
what you
out of
started
turn.
doing at the beginning of this meeting.
The mayor recognize. I'm talking.
I hope
the
y'all
mayor
recognize the
recognizes-
gaslighting.
Ms. Barber, would you let him
I hope
speak?
y'all recognize the gaslighting.
The mayor.
This is in my district.
The mayor
It's in
gets to
mine.
recognize us, and then we are allowed to speak. We operate under Robert's Rules of Order. You just can't jump in and speak because you get upset. We get very emotional up here. We do. These issues matter greatly to us. But you must comport yourself and conduct yourself in the manner befitting of this office as we sit up here and we talk. I'm still talking right now, and yet I'm being interrupted, yet Ms. Barber asked for respect a few minutes ago. The most disrespectful thing that you can do is to continue. The mayor is the presiding officer in this meeting. He's been totally disrespected tonight. His orders have been ignored. There's been smoked over. He's been called a liar. He's been called names. All of us have been
Correction, I've
called.
told all of you, don't
us
lie.
have been called.
Don't lie.
It's my speaking time.
Don't
Again,
lie.
Ms.
it's
Barber,
my
will you let
speaking
him
time.
speak, please?